searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our father's going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. It's the simple things in life, like learning all again. It's the simple things in life, like finding where it all again. Oh, do you know your history? History. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know your history? History. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? History. Now we going back. He done on my back for sure. When I let the truth go, we gon' let them know. My people on my back for sure. I hold them down.
We are back. All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. We are back. You are now tuned into
our Hidden History Radio Show.
All right. So we left off with the Oxford Illustrated, not dictionary, but Oxford Illustrated. I want to get that real quick. I want to go back to that. Then we touched on Henry II's wife's image. We touched on a few images, so we got to go back because I was missing some pages I want to go back to. I want to revisit some images that are in that book before we go back to the foundational surnames. Okay, so where are we at? All right, so the Oxford Illustrated History of the British Monarchy. Let's see. Go to page 139. Yeah, we already visited that. That's King Henry II's wife. Go to 159. That was last week. 159. Okay, I remember him. That's Richard I. I remember him. That's King Henry II. King Henry's son. Go to the next page, 174.
The Lionheart.
The Lionheart, yep. The Lionheart, yep. King Henry II's son. And that sister we saw earlier, that's his mother. So he got his mom's features. Go back to his mom again. That's his mom's features right there. His mom's image there, reading a book. That's her reading a book. Yeah, zoom in. Yeah, so he took out his mother in terms of features. You can see his mother's face.
Yeah, they got that round.
You know, that round face and the aquiline nose, the thin lips, but still black. You know, we are a diverse featured people. You know how that goes. All right, man. Go to let me see. All right, John, King of England.
He was indeed a great prince, but less than successful. Like Marius, he met with both kinds of luck. He was
Generous
and liberal to outsiders, but a disposer of the inhabitants, since he trusted more in foreigners
the
than
spoiler of the inhabitants. So he was terrible to his own citizens, but kind to outsiders. Go ahead.
Since he trusted more in foreigners than in them, he had been abandoned before the end by his people and in his own, and he was little mourned. You got to blow this up.
Notoriously cruel, suspicious,
untrustworthy, and violent. John's reputation is not salvaged by an alleged constructive interest in administration or by assertions that contemporary writers were monks who resented his treatment of the church. The youngest son of Henry II.
So Lionheart was his brother. So he's the youngest son of Henry II and Queen Eleanor, who we saw earlier. This is King Henry II's youngest son. He was the worst. So his older brother was Lionheart, Richard I. This is John. Go down to his face.
All the way down, brothers.
Zoom in. Now go over to that left image over there. Zoom in. You see that lips and that nose is knocked off.
Yep.
And the pepper seed, the peppercorn hair on the top.
Right.
Go over. That's the afro right there. Beard, nose knocked off again, lips. Come on. With the thick black man beard on there. Zoom. Now go down. So I'm gonna show these two. I'm gonna show these. That's the same guy that picked that. That was the same guy. Right here. We see King John.
The tomb effigy of King John in Worcester Cathedral. The king is flanked by smaller figures of St. Oswald and St. Wolfston.
So St. Oswald to his left and St. Wolfston to his right.
Whom John admired.
So we got the same hair texture and features as his mom. You see his nose is knocked off, so everybody got his father's nose. This is a black man too. All of them got their noses knocked off. Zoom into to John. Look, his mouth is knocked off too. They knocked his mouth off. His lips, you know why his mouth is knocked off? Them lips are too pronounced. He didn't have them thin lips. He was a black man. Nose knocked off, lips knocked off. But his eyes are fine, his face is fine, but the nose and mouth, the sturdy fell off. So he had his mom's, I guess his mom had that Native American kind of feature. She had a copper skin tone, the finer hair, but he had the same hair as his mom, but the same features as his father. The wide nose, the lips. Remember I showed you that coin of Henry I and II before last week.
Yep.
That coin I showed y'all of King Henry II. The surnames, I'm not sure if I know what that is. Yeah, let me get that coinage real quick of King Henry II, just to show you why they knocked off that nose and that mouth. Even the two men, the two saints on the left and right of him, has knocked their noses off. Diabolical, man.
Indeed, they try to do this throughout history. They known for knocking off the nose,
like the Sphinx,
mouth, the Sphinx. Just various, even in some of the books we have, with like Image of the Black, you see a lot of the king's noses knocked off and so forth. Because, like you said, that's a number one feature.
Yeah, prominent feature.
Feature of
nose
us.
and lips. Yep. Yeah, nose and lips.
You know.
And the hair texture, the pepper,
corn
pop,
hair.
yeah.
Can we get that scripture, Wisdom of Solomon, 2 and 10?
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and verse 15. He is grievous unto us, even to behold, for his life is not like other man's. His ways are of another fashion.
Right, so read the top part again.
He is grievous unto us, even to behold.
So this is Esau talking, saying that they can't stand the way we look.
Yeah.
They can't stand, because why? We are a constant reminder that we are made in the image of God. So they can't stand that thing. That's why they hate us so much. That's why we see so many of our images throughout history whitewashed, nose knocked off, the lips knocked off. They try to whitewash our color because they know we made in the image of God. They can't stand to see us. They can't stand to look at us.
And they implanted that hatred that they have of us into us, towards each other.
Yes.
That's why a lot of us will knock off our own nose like Michael Jackson did.
Damn.
And knock off our own lips like Michael Jackson did. Or like Little Kim is doing.
Wow.
Knock off our nose like, what's the name? Glorilla did.
Yeah.
Knock off her nose,
Change.
lighten up her skin. Beyonce, I'm not sure she lightened her skin, but she looks lighter than me. Serena Williams knocked off her whole ass. Knocked the whole ass off. This it's
got rid
a
of it.
straight
Just-
pencil, a number 3 pencil, not even 2. She had number 3 pencil.
Damn.
Looking crazy, man. She look crazy. Looking crazy. Knocked your behind off, your nose off, your lips off. And for what?
Right.
Because she look crazy now.
Yeah.
She doesn't look desirable now. She looks crazy now. So just to show you the depths. Get First Maccabees 3:48.
And,
They made us whitewash ourselves.
Yes, sir.
And remind you, Michael Jackson was raised a Jehovah's Witness.
right.
Christianity man that house. Christianity was in that house.
First Maccabees chapter 3 verse 48. And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images.
Why? Because they despise ours. They despise our image. They despise how they know that God is a black man. Mm-hmm. They know Christ is black. They're fully aware of how our God is depicted and how his son's depicted. And they can't stand the sight of us for that very reason. They can't stand it. But now what they will do is they'll still have sex with a nigga. They'll enjoy the penis. They'll enjoy the vagina of the black woman. They'll enjoy the loins of us. They'll enjoy. There was a video, I'm not sure if you'll be able to find it, of this sister, wish I saved it. I did save it. Where she says that she has, I'm going to find it. She has, or a friend of hers, one or the other, dealt with wealthy white men. She said that all of her I think he was her ex at this time, but her wealthy or rich white man boyfriend, all the women that he had before her looked just like her. She said they could be her cousins or sisters. That's how closely in features they resembled. So they deal with the specific feature of black women, and they deal with them, and they'll sleep with them. She says, but then once they get older, they had enough chocolate. Okay, I'm done with that. Then they go and marry a white woman to keep the inheritance of wealth in their community. That's what she said. So they'll smash a nigga.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they will not marry and share that wealth with them, though.
That's it. We just a toy.
Yeah, there's something to do, not something to desire. That's how they'll do you, but they're not gonna mess around and give you their wealth. They're not doing that. Like, for example, Eve, who married that rich Edomite dude, she's not getting that wealth. Right. She'll get a fraction of it, but she ain't get what the kids are gonna get. Because he had a whole family. That family getting that wealth. She might get a little something, but she ain't getting what the family's gonna get.
You could tell because the one picture where they all in the at the dinner table, she looked like a dog at the end of the
corner,
table.
at the end of the table.
Yeah,
they might have under the table.
There's they probably got prenup too.
No doubt.
And
you
also,
talking about that video.
And also, I came across a video where this rich Edomite billionaire. He's like, look, I got this stipulation that none of my kids are gonna get any of my inheritance if they get married without a prenup.
Wow.
Just to make sure that the wealth stays in the family. So, like, none of my kids, it's in my will that they're not going to touch anything that I own after I die if they get married without a prenup. Because that money is not going to leave the family.
Damn.
So, there's that stipulation. So, they know what to do and put things in place to make sure that that wealth does not leave their family. Whether you see them messing with Jake or not, sleeping, having fun, jungle fever, as they say.
Right.
Yep.
They're making sure they're not going to share that with us. They're just having fun. And during slavery, during chattel slavery, weren't they sodomizing the men? Weren't they sleeping with our sisters?
Yeah. Butt breaking.
Yeah, they were bug breaking. They were having the bed wenches. They were doing all these things, but they still had us in captivity, chattel slavery, as what? Property. So we can't use that like, oh, they'll date us and marry us or whatever it may be. That's not an excuse or something to exclude them from the hatred they have for us, because they will misuse us. They'll use us for their own benefit. So
I sent it to y'all. Get that picture of Michael Jackson that they posted in the OHH also. I know you can't do two things at one time, but if you get a chance, put that up. The video right there. So if I want to set up the video first, and then go back to the image of Michael Jackson. And then give me an image of him later on after that. I want a before and after him. Let me see something. Give me Psalms 74:1. Like I was saying before, they trained us to destroy our own image of our hair, of our skin.
Psalm 74 and verse 1.
Talk verse 2. 74 verse 2.
Psalm 74 verse 2. Remember thy congregation which thou hast purchased of old, the rod of thine inheritance which thou hast redeemed.
That's us. Go ahead.
This Mount Zion wherein thou hast dwelt.
Come on.
Lift up thy feet unto the perpetual desolation, even all that thy enemy has done wickedly in the sanctuary.
In our sanctuary. Watch this. Verse 4.
Thine enemies roar in the midst of thy congregations.
Go ahead.
They set up their ensigns for signs.
They set up their ensigns for signs. Their ensigns is their images. Their ensigns is their imagery. Their features. They are the standard of beauty. That's their ensigns for signs. Whitewashing our images and putting up theirs.
Right.
That's what they did. We had depictions of David, statues of David. I'm sure we had statues of David and Solomon,
right,
and Josiah, Hezekiah. They said, no, knock that down and put up Zeus, put up Odin, put up Hermes, put up Jupiter. Knock these nigga statues down and get them out of here. We don't want these things here. That's what they did. Set up their ensigns for signs. You watch TV, they show you a beauty product, you're going to see their women. You might see a black woman here and there, but most of the time you're going to see them. Let's play.
Do wealthy white men even marry black women, even if they're their exact type? My coworker and I have a mutual who is older than us and who is very rich, and his dating history is women who look exactly like me, exactly like his exes and I. We could be cousins, okay? And I was talking to my coworker about this mutual. I was like, is he ever going to settle down? Because he's kind of old. Is he going to settle down? Is he going to get married? And he was like, yeah. Totally.
She's asking, she wants to try to get married to him. It's all about It's all about money and covetousness with our women, man. All about money. The American black woman is all about money. She is the modern, I say it all the time, she is the modern slave master. The black woman has adopted the white man's mentality where it's all about economics with them. It's all about penis, breeding. They will lay with a nigga and have his baby, but they'll not marry him. Breeders. Why? Because they know they're not meant for marriage, and they may never get married. So what do? They lay down with a nigga so they can have a son and he could be the husband, son husband.
He ain't lying.
These boys that they have, these kids that they have, or these niggas out here in this world are insurance that I will not be alone ever. So they use Negroes for their ride, for their semen, to make more dumb niggas that they laid with, or they go after rich white guys.
Y'all guys are retarded.
That's what they do. Continue.
White lady. I was like, yeah, that's what they do. They terrorize the community of the women that they're actually attracted to, and then they settle for someone inside their race to keep the wealth inside their community. I think this is really specific to rich white men.
That's it. So they don't terrorize it. They just run through a bunch of dumbass black women. Right. They run through. It's a terrorize. Nah, that ain't the word you use. They mess around with black women, and then when they're done with you, they go back to their own kind.
Damn.
They'll step outside in the jungle for a minute, then they go back to the caves. That's what they do. So Michael Jackson, this is an example of destroying your image. Handsome brother on the left, and now he looks like a ghoul on the right. Mm-hmm. Nose knocked in, lips gone, chinny and pushed his chin up there, a superhero chin. Cheekbones look crazy. Cheekbones are still there.
Superhero chin.
You got a damn superhero chin, man.
Yeah, like how you would draw it,
yeah,
right?
superhero chin, yeah. Hair implanted, he got the hair permed up. This goes back to the. It's like this is right. You know what this is? This is surgical iconoclasm. Damn. That's what this is. This is surgical iconoclasm. He destroyed his own image of his face. Surgical. Well, this is just freaking bleaching. This is bleaching iconoclasm here. You got Vibes Cartel. He looks even worse. He oh God, this is crazy here. This is diabolical.
On the left.
Yeah, it's nasty.
That's not even her original.
It ain't her face on the left either. Ain't her on the left. That's surgery there too.
Yep.
She was a beautiful sister.
She was a beautiful sister. Now, yeah, Vibes Cartel look crazy.
He looked like he.
I heard
He went back to. He went back.
Yeah.
He caught it. He recovered himself.
He looked like he belonged in Kensington.
Yeah, let's just look like that movie, Stephen King movie, Sleepwalkers, with the cat monsters. They scare the cats. The monsters scare the cats, but they cats themselves.
Damn.
Now get that image of her. The other one. Well, that's her. That's her with thighs. Get the one where she at. Get the one where she like a French fry.
Yeah. She's in the gym. There she
fry.
do.
Get
She
the
looks
get the
straight
French
like a
fry picture. She like burnt French fries. Give me that picture.
Like a potato wedge.
She look like Five Guys, but fries for the human being.
Hey, did y'all get the other picture? Are y'all in the our hitter history group? Did you see the other pictures on there? That's what Deke was talking about.
They forgot about the group.
Yeah, they.
You know.
I posted a page on there too. Yeah, this.
Yeah, I wanted that. That's what I was looking for. Can I zoom in? This is crazy. I remember this. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in.
Michael Jackson inspired Stephanie Mills to get a nose job, and then Stephanie inspired Patti LaBelle to get one too.
Wow.
Yeah. Read the top. Go to the
Go to
top.
the top.
Stephanie Mills told People magazine that she faced harsh criticism for being too short and too ugly when she played Dorothy in The Wiz back in 1975. Patti LaBelle told Madame Noir magazine in 2014 that if she could speak to her younger self, she would tell her not to touch her nose.
Wow.
Crazy.
So Stephanie Mills told when she played Dorothy in The Wiz back in 75.
Yeah,
Get a picture of her, please, Stephanie Mills, when she's younger.
that's her right there.
That's her older.
No. Go in the picture right here.
She's on the right.
That's her right there.
Oh, on the right.
You see her nose?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Patti LaBelle, that's their original noses.
Yeah, that's how they originally look.
Now that's her older at the bottom on the Breakfast Club.
Yeah. So that's her where? On the right or left?
To the right of Michael.
Oh, sorry,
To our right, our right.
Okay,
Yeah,
that is
to the
on the right.
Patti
Yeah.
LaBelle, yeah.
Yeah. Patti LaBelle's on the left, right?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I recognize her.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with her, man.
Nothing.
Nothing wrong with her at all.
Nothing at all.
Hey, oh, go ahead.
Now, verse 8 and 9 also goes into what you mentioned about them destroying our sons.
Yeah, read on.
From 5?
No, read 8 and 9.
Yes, sir. They said in their hearts, let us destroy them together. They have burned up all the synagogues of God in the land.
Our places of learning. Go ahead.
We see not our signs. There is no more any prophet, neither is there among us any that knoweth how long.
We see not our signs. What are our signs? Our own images. Right. Mm-hmm. Our own imagery. Our own majesty.
Right.
I've shown y'all numerous depictions of us with armor on, crowns on our heads, castles, our clothing. I've showed to y'all numerous times. But we don't see it no more. Now you turn TV on, we see white folks in it now. What we have here? Zoom in, what that say?
Yeah, so this is a book called Haiti, or the Black Republic from 1889. So just like how our sisters, like Patti LaBelle, Stephanie Mills, for example, you see that they changed their nose, they thought they were ugly, and so forth and so on. Now this is back during in Haiti, even when we was ruling in Haiti, when we took over the island at the time. Go ahead, read that.
The principal
Esau, they always going around exploring what we doing. So this is what he put together as far as our sisters at that time.
The principal trouble to the female Negro mind is her unfortunate wool. How she envies her.
So she at this time she hated her hair. Our sisters hated their hair. Right, go ahead.
How she envies her more favorite sisters their long tresses. How she tries to draw out each fiber and endeavors to make something of it by carefully plaiting it with false hair.
Wow.
Right. So our sisters at that time even trying to put weave in their hair because they hated their hair. Damn.
And you had Elizabeth I also. She used egg whites to whiten up her skin too. Elizabeth I. She was very dark. She tried to lighten up her skin, doing the same thing. Or wore like a paint on her face.
Yeah,
a paste.
it's a poisonous paint.
Yeah, very
too.
poisonous.
Yeah, it's like
yes.
arsenic or something.
Yep.
I forget. Or lead.
Messed her face up. Yeah, she
The
messed her
white
face
paint,
up.
yeah, just got her sick too.
You got the picture I wanted now, Henry II? The coinage? Did you find it? No, we couldn't locate it. All right, page 207. That's 207. Zoom in.
Damn.
Yeah, it was completely knocked off.
They just knocked the whole nose off the nigga. Just knocked the nose off.
I'll just take the face
Him
off.
and his woman. Him and his wife. It's not Edward I. That's Longshanks. That's Longshanks' picture. Go down. He inherited that hair too, Edward I.
The stone heads crowned of King Edward I and his second wife, Margaret of France, in the form of corbels on the canopy above the Allard tomb in St. Thomas's Church, Winchelsea, Sussex.
So, this is it, and Edward is admiral. But you see his nose knocked off, his wife's nose knocked off. It just listen, man. Just bad. That's what they do. This is what they do. All right, give me page 269.
Hey, Deke, if I may, sir. That's why it says without a vision the people perish. Because when you have this stuff taken away from you, the only thing you can represent and see yourself as is what your oppressors painted you as. That's why in the comments a lot of the times you'll see when we're showing the castles, when you're showing the history of how rich our people were, how wealthy we were, how great we were, we had status, we had fame, we had all of these things. You got brothers and sisters in the comments that can't believe it, and they're saying, no, that's not us. There's no way that could be us. Because without that vision, without seeing that and knowing that that's us, that history's been stripped from us, we perish. The only thing we can see ourselves as is what they painted us out to be now.
Get Hosea 3?
Yes, sir.
Yep, Hosea 3. Let me give you our precept for this too regarding this. Watch this regarding this situation, this verse. Hosea 3.
Hosea chapter 3,
And 4.
verse 4. For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king.
So we lost our king. We got taken captive. We were conquered, lost our king. We had a king. So our people were able to witness majesty, a crown, a throne, a kingdom, a palace, a castle. We were able to get up in the morning and go, oh, king's over there. Right. So we knew we were kings and royalty. We saw a castle. We saw palaces.
Right.
We saw summer houses. We saw winter houses. We saw land that was ours.
Right.
So we were walking, living imagery at one time. So the Lord said, you know what, you guys are evil as hell. I'm going to take that king from you. So now we lost our king. Go ahead.
And without a prince.
We lost it. We saw the king's children. Hey, that's Prince so-and-so. Gone. Princes are gone. Go ahead.
And without a sacrifice.
We lost the temple.
And
we lost our land. We lost our priests. No more sacrificing. Go ahead.
And without an image.
And without an image. We lost our images, our statues, our sculptures. There's castles still standing to this day with our paintings in them. Right. Where they watered off. Well, you can't go in there. Yep. Or they have the lights turned off. Mm-hmm. So you can't, no pictures. Mm-hmm. We've gone in places they'll say, no pictures, please. Why? No flash. No pictures. Yep. It'll be a dark ass room. Yep. Bishop went to Israel. He said, who's this guy on the wall here? Mm-hmm. Christ is black right here on this wall. Who that? You want you stuttering for? Who is this nigga on the picture here? Who this? Because I saw a white guy on the cross over in Israel a few moments ago. Now I'm seeing a picture of Christ with an afro like mine on the wall here in the back in a dark ass room. Who this? That's what they do. It's what they do. These are our images. Read on.
And without an ephod, and without a teraphim.
Now give me 1 Samuel 19. Now what I have in my Bible here, it says a standing or statue or pillar. 1 Samuel 19 and 13 is 1 Samuel 19, verse 13 to 16.
First Samuel.
For the image or the teraphim. Watch this.
Chapter 19, verse 13. Come on. And Michael. McCall, sorry.
McCall.
And McCall took an image and laid it in the bed.
McCall this is King Saul's daughter, and she was hiding. She was looking out for David, and hiding him. So to pretend that David was in the bed, she put an image and laid it in the bed. What's the image? It's like a what do you call it? A mannequin, like a mannequin. Read on.
And put a pillow of goat's hair in his bolster, and
for his bolster. Come on.
Sorry. For his bolster, and covered it with a cloth. And when Saul sent messengers to take David, she said, "He is sick."
So she said, "He's sick. He's in the bed. He's sick. He can't come out the bed." Go ahead.
And Saul sent the messenger again to see David, saying, "Bring him up to me in the bed."
Go ahead.
That I may slay him.
So he's sick in the bed, huh? Okay, well, bring the whole bed so I can kill his ass in the bed. Saul was crazy, man. Pick up the whole bed and bring him to me so I can kill him in the bed. Go ahead.
And when the messengers were come in, behold, there was an image in the bed.
There was an image in the bed, or a statue or mannequin in the bed. Go ahead.
With a pillow of goat's hair for his bolster.
For his bolster. So an image is statues. We had mannequins and statues back then. She tried to make it seem like it was David in there. You found it now? Oh, God. All right, let's go, man. Go to page 269 again. Where we at? 269. Zoom in. Now tell me that's the white man. Zoom all the way into that face. Look at that nose and look at that mouth. Ain't no way that's the white man. No way. Let's see what it is. Go down. Who is that?
The crowned head of King Richard III.
That's King Richard III. We read about Richard I, Henry II, Edward. This is Richard III. Who is what?
Who is pictured in this early 16th century wood carving.
1500s. Go ahead. What?
On a 16th century wood carving on a misericord in Christchurch Priory Church, Dorset, holding a scepter. It also suggests the deformed hunchback of early Tudor invention, though Richard may indeed have had irregular shoulders.
Go up. No, go to his face. So that's him there. That's some shoulders. You're saying he might have been messed up, deformed maybe. Crazy. But that's his nose, his mouth. That's King Richard III. Because there was deformity in his family. There was a deformity that had issues with that. I read about that. So I think Richard I was deformed. Richard I had deformity. I think he was flat. He was his feet were like this. His feet were what do you call it? And he was messed up too.
Like slew-footed.
Yeah, something footed. Flayed. Yeah, flayed. We read it before. So I think he passed that on to some of his children. He might have adopted it. He might have inherited it. Richard III here, based upon it. But you see his hands, his nose, his mouth, his eyes. That's a black man right there, despite the deformity. The nose and mouth is just too pronounced to be anything else, other than a black man. Okay? Paint him brown. He look like he remind me of what's his name? Shit. It escapes me. Is it Gil Noble he remind me of? No, his face looks familiar to me. Like a person, like an actor of some kind. I just can't think of him. Or a figure. Get Gil Noble real fast? Gil Noble?
Yeah, most likely.
I think it's Gil Noble. Yeah, get a picture of Gil Noble? I'm good with faces. I'm bad with names. I'm real good with faces, but I'm real terrible with names. Noble. Occasionally. Yep. Go to the picture right there in the right, the far right. He's younger. Nope, the bottom, under that. Right there, yep, that one. Now zoom into the other side. I don't need on them words. Just picture, all needs the image. Move it down, zoom in. Yep. Yep. I'm good with faces, but I'm not good with names. The only thing is, his lips are bigger. King Richard's lips are a bit more pronounced than Gil's, but the nose and the eyes, I see it.
Yeah.
I hope y'all see it. I see it.
Yeah.
The nose.
Yeah.
His nose, even Richard's nose is still bigger, but it's still, they favor. Even the line he has with his nose and mouth, the line he has,
Yep.
It's pronounced.
is very pronounced. All right, so this is an example. That's a black man right there. You ain't gonna sit up and tell me it's a white man with that big ass nose and mouth. You're not doing it. Let's go out. Page, what page is this again? 269. Give me page 642. The last page. Zoom into that. I don't know why I want this, but just zoom into anyway. Okay. Zoom in more.
That is crazy.
Okay, not that much. Yeah. Okay. That's crazy. That's trees. That's a road. That's a road leading into this place.
That's the front yard.
That's a front yard.
That is crazy.
Go down. Hampton Court Palace. Read it. Created by who?
Created by Cardinal Wolsey, Hampton Court was surrendered by him to Henry VIII in a desperate bid to retain royal favor. From 1530 onwards, Henry was busy extending his new possession. Anne Boleyn
Anne Boleyn is Queen Elizabeth's mom. Queen Elizabeth's mom. Anne Boleyn, black woman also. Go ahead.
and his 4 subsequent queens lived there.
So King Henry VIII and his 4 wives lived here. Go over to that picture on the top again. Zoom into the back. Zoom in. Zoom in. That's where they lived. In that. Insane. That's a lot of home.
For 5 people.
Like a city or something.
No, he had more than one. No, he had 5 wives, 4 or 5 wives. He had 5 wives. One. No, go back. He killed
4 wives, right?
He killed them. He killed like 2 though. He got 6 or 4. He killed like 2. But go ahead. Henry VIII was gangster, man. He was crazy.
And Anne Boleyn and his 4 subsequent queens.
Yeah,
lived
5.
there.
Yeah, 5. Yeah, go ahead.
Charles-
Anne Boleyn being Queen Elizabeth's mom. Go ahead.
Charles I and Charles II also brought their brides to Hampton Court.
Yeah, that's her grandfather's house. Go ahead.
William III found the air better than that of London and built on a large scale.
Because of the trees, fresher air.
It was at Hampton Court that he broke his collarbone while riding in 1702 and subsequently died. George II was the last monarch to reside there. His successor,
George II was the Germans.
Yeah.
Them Germans took over the
Hanoverian.
The Goethe family, the Hanoverians. They took over. Last monarch to reside there.
his successor disliking the place. It is used occasionally for receptions, and much of it is given over to grace and favor residences.
Yeah, it's a tourist attraction. Go down to the house over here. Now, what is this place called? Right here, this house here. Look up to the top. I marked it off.
Palace of
Holy Rood House. Edinburgh. You know whose picture's in here? As a black man? Macbeth. Macbeth's picture is in this place.
You're not getting in there.
You're not getting in there. If you do go in there, they're closing that door. They're locking that door.
Right.
They're gonna nigger proof that door.
And you know what's funny?
What's this? This the same place?
Same place.
Macbeth's picture as a black man is on the walls, and many more of us is in there, on the walls of this castle here. This is our castle. This castle is at the Holy Rood House. Mm-hmm. This is our castle. And you see that square right there in the middle? That's the courtyard. That's called the courtyard there. That square in the middle, courtyard. That's what that is. That's what Tobit had at his house. Smaller, bigger, who knows? But he had that.
The closer you get to this house is taking a picture from a mountain.
Yep. Or a drone.
Or a drone.
That's where Macbeth's image is found. With the locks and bushy hair and the brown skin is in this house right here. And we read about this like weeks ago. The Palace of Holyrood House, Edinburgh. All right? Now, let's go to Foundational Black Surnames now. Part 3, page 110. I'm going to redeem y'all because y'all couldn't find the picture. I have it right here. All praises. The Lord had it where what I wanted is right here. Page 110. I just Googled the image of a black person. I don't know who it is. It could be my uncle, man. So, surname, Foundational Black Surnames. I want part 3, page 110. So, I want you guys to understand that all these castles, that's how we live. Now, I'm not saying, again, I want to put emphasis that we were not the most righteous bunch at this time. Matter of fact, real quick, while you're looking for that, give me 2nd Ezra 7 to show you that we were not in our right minds to the fullest anyway during this time. I always forget to go here. I won't forget today. 7 and verse 28.
2nd Ezra chapter 7, verse 28. For my son Jesus shall be revealed with those that be with him.
The disciples, go ahead.
And they that remain shall rejoice within 400 years.
Because Christ will come into the scene during this time of Ezra and Nehemiah was the reconstruction period. 400 years after this particular time, and Nehemiah and Ezra rebuilt the walls. Ezra's time, 400 years after that, Christ's ministry started. Approximately 400, that's Daniel 9, by the way. 400 years after Nehemiah and Ezra did the reconstruction of the walls and so forth, Christ's ministry began. John and Christ. 400 years after that. Go ahead.
After these years shall my son Christ die.
After those years, he come on the scene, he'll be killed. Go ahead.
And all men that have life.
And all the disciples that taught him the right way, that maintained the doctrinal purity of the disciples. The last remaining one in his right mind was Polycarp. I stand 10 toes down on Polycarp. After Polycarp, Negroes is gone. Irenaeus, gone. Ignatius, gone. Who else? Victor the First, gone. Bugged out. I call them bug outs. Sextus Africanus, bug out. Origin, bug out. Bug outs. All right? Polycarp was the last man. He's the one that John wrote to in Smyrna. That's why you had 2 out of all the 7 churches, 2 was on good standing.
I think Ignatius.
Ignatius and Irenaeus.
Yeah, Irenaeus.
Bugged out. Bug outs. Polycarp was the last man standing in terms of doctrinal purity. That's who was the elder over the church of Smyrna. It's believed that's who John was writing to. And I believe it. That angel of Smyrna was Polycarp. All right? Arius, bug out. Bunch of bug outs. They start making up stuff. Adding Greek metaphysics into the doctrine, Trinity. That's all Greek metaphysics. Justin Martyr, bug out. And a sellout too. Who y'all Negroes love.
Tertullian.
Alexander of Hippo. Is that Alexander Hippo? Alexander is
Hippocrates or something?
No. Something of Hippo. Augustine of Hippo. Augustine. Another bug out. All right, read on. 29.
After these years shall my son Christ die, and all men that have life.
Verse 30.
And the world shall be turned into the old silence 7 days.
The old silence is the prophets are gone. The visions are sealed up. The word of God ain't talking to them no more. That's the old silence. So this old silence happened numerous times. It happened during a time after Adam fell, and then Enos rose up. The Lord started talking to us again. We called upon him. That's the old silence in the beginning. Genesis. Adam fell, then Seth died and so forth. And then after Seth died, it was silence. Then the Lord spoke to Enos. Then from there, you had the old silence. The second time will be between Malachi and John the Baptist. That's the second old silence.
The intertestamental.
The intertestamental period. That's the old silence a second time, and then we approached it a third time, which is the time when we got conquered from the time 70 AD all the way up until 1969. Old silence. I won't say that. I'll say around a little before that. But the truth itself, 69. But before that, you had Nat Turner, Gabriel Prosser. There were bits and pieces of truth that were still around. But for the most part, old silence. Go ahead.
Like as in the former judgments, so that no man shall remain.
No man that had life or wisdom, the light of Christ, the word of God and purity shall remain. Bits and pieces maybe, but not the full truth, as in the time of the disciples. That was over. So in the dark ages, it was a wrap. We were bug outs. Okay? Let me see. I want more. That's all I want. So now, you got it? Yes, sir. All right, we're page 110.
Do.
Yes. Yep. Do again.
Black.
Remember last week? I mean black. Do.
Do.
Like dude. Zoom in. Now look at that face right there. Come on, man. Zoom in some more.
Oh, look at that nose.
The nose and mouth right there. Come on now.
Like an Olmec.
Yeah. Yeah, like an Olmec. You're right. With the crown on his head.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go out some. To the left. Who's that? Read that.
Robert Earl.
No, go to the top. That's King Henry
Henry
the
the
First.
Oh, there you go. There's a coin.
That's King Henry the First.
Wow.
I showed you the second. That's the coin of him. That's the coin of King Henry the First. Zoom into his face again. That's why they knocked off that brother's nose and lips. I showed you earlier with the fine hair, because he inherited this. They said knock that nose and lips off that dude, Edward. King Henry II's youngest son said not that nose. He inherited his grandfather's nose and mouth right here. Go to the left. To the paragraph on the left. The paragraph, read that.
Robert Earl of Gloucester's father was a deeply melanated man, King Henry I. Naturally, Robert's phenotype would have followed a similar pattern of racial characteristics as his father. Look closely at King Henry's head attire.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, can we go just Google search King Henry I so we can see what they have?
Yeah.
What they show us.
Yeah, King Henry I. Let's see what we get.
Going back to what we were touching on in the scriptures about how they changed the image, they put their own ensigns.
Yep.
Look at that.
Oh, wow.
It has no resemblance to the coin that was coined during King Henry I's time.
That's nasty work right there, man.
Nasty work.
Wow.
Ain't not one black man on this picture. And none of the pictures. None.
It's an evil world we live in.
No wide
None.
nose,
No
big
wide,
lips,
nothing. No lip, nothing.
Even the head is a different elongated shape.
Yep.
So yeah, it's just a little.
You can't make this up. Zoom in again to that face.
You see that? It's no resemblance whatsoever.
That nose, the mouth. Nope. Go to the right.
Said deeply melanated. He black as hell.
Yep.
He was dark.
Man, he's fresh.
Damn.
Markham Abbey's early charter history was connected to William Conqueror's foundational black lineage.
He goes back to that line.
A charter by Robert of King, the natural son of Henry I, King of England, Council or Earl of Gloucester, Gloucester, addressed to Robert Norris, the sheriff, and to all his men, French, English, and Welsh.
That's all I want. So that's Henry the First right there. Give me surnames part 1. I want part 1 now. You get to part 1. I want page 82. That was Henry the First. Part 1. I want page 82. Yep. Yes, 82. Yes, that it there? Yes, sir. I don't want that. Get page 90. That's 90? Yes, sir. 91? Yeah, those is nights. I don't want that. Go back to part 3 again. So go back to part 3 again.
Hey, get John 14:26 while we wait.
John chapter 14, verse 26. Come on. But the Comforter, which is the Holy Ghost,
Right. So the Holy Ghost, that's that spirit. Go ahead.
whom the Father will send in my name, he shall teach you all things.
So that Holy Ghost, which is Christ, he will send his spirit back to us in these last days to teach us all things. Read on.
And bring all things to your remembrance.
Why? Because we forgot who we were. Right? So us looking at these pictures right now, we can't even fathom that was us, that we lived in these castles, these enormous castles, that we dressed the way we dressed. You understand? That we were the kings and the princesses and the princes of the earth at that time. So the Lord got to read it again.
But the Comforter, which is the Holy Ghost, whom the Father will send in my name, he shall teach you all things and bring all things to your remembrance.
So that's what we're doing right now. The Lord sent his spirit back to us in these last days to teach us all things all over again and bring everything back to our remembrance that, we ruled the earth at one time. That these are our images. So now we seeing the images that we lost.
Right.
Like Deacon was bringing out Hosea 3 and 4. We lost all of that. We lost our identity. Now we trying to follow the white man. Now we envying what they do. We envy the way they look. All right. So now the Lord got to send his spirit back to us to remember the things that who we once were. All right. The Israelites. Right. That's it.
It mentioned who fell again and put the collarbone? Was it William III?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. William III fell and broke his collarbone. In that same area, in that same castle area we saw earlier. So he fell. He rode King Henry VIII's castle. William III fell there and broke his collarbone. I think he passed away from his injury. I got it now? Yes. All right, let's see it. Come on. I'm 21. Zoom in. This is last week. Okay, this is from last week. This is a black night, because the sister laughed at us on YouTube. Nights being black. the Nigerian chick, the mixed. I call them mixed nuts. Right. The ones, the white mamas, the biologically confused black people with the white mamas, they be confused. But her right here, as you can see right here, this is a knight, a black one.
That's
a
right.
black knight right here with armor on, darkest night here. All right. Give me page 57, the same book. Zoom in. Now, who is this gentleman right here? This gentleman. Zoom in. Up. Zoom in. Up to the top. Top to top. Read that.
William III's mother was Mary, the eldest daughter of King Charles I and sister of King Charles II and James II.
This brother here, his mother is King Charles I's daughter. Okay, so he's King Charles I's grandson. Look at the afro. And look at the he got the Mario, he got the Robotnik mustache. Dr. Robotnik mustache. And he got the freaking, look at his hair. Go to his hair. There's no way you're going to tell me that's a white man. There's this impossible. Come on. Okay? Go to his face. That's a black man. Right. That's it. Now go zoom out to see his armor. Look at this dude. Straight armor. He got armor on. Armor. Go down to the bottom there what it says here. Zoom in.
No,
zoom in. Yeah, Willemus van Godes.
Genadin Prince van Oranje, or William.
Yeah, I'm about to say go down.
The bottom.
William of God's
Wilhelmus. Wilhelm, like Wilhelm or Wilhelm is William. Wilhelmus, go ahead.
Van Godes, Genadin Prince van Oranje, or William of God's Grace, Prince of Orange.
That's also
known as William the Silent, who was the founder of the House of Orange.
So the House of Orange started with him. The House of Orange, which ties into King James line. I'm gonna show you. Go ahead.
Born 1533 to 1584.
Go up to the right.
That's what, William II?
That's William III. Go up. Read that.
Born at the castle Dillenborough or Dillenburg of Germany.
That's why it says Von Pon. He's from Germany. Go ahead.
He was scarce 20 years old when Charles V chose him out from among all the great lords of his court to carry the imperial crown. William, Prince of Orange, was of a middle stature, of a brown complexion, with chestnut hair.
Light brown hair.
He talked little, thought much, but he spoke always to the purpose, and his words passed for oracles.
He's very smart.
No private man in the time of Charles V lived with so much splendor as the Prince of Orange. He entertained all the foreign princes and ministers at his house.
So that's, go back to him again. This is William III. Now go up to the top again regarding his origin. So William III's mother was Mary, the eldest daughter of King Charles I and sister of King Charles II and James II. Now, can you give me, go to the Paisley family tree. Hold on to this, though. Go back to that Paisley family tree we always use. We can get an idea of who this brother is, if it has. It should have him there. You know what I'm talking about? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, thank you.
Thanks for saying something.
It's crazy because the latest. Well, the
Oh, we gotta go on break. Matter of fact, let's go on break first. We're gonna come back. All praise is good. We're gonna come back with the family tree. All right, we gotta go on a break real quick. We'll be right back. Y'all just stay tuned. You know, do your thing. We'll be right back. All right. Shalom.
All of the schools, we should be seeing new moon challenges.
Yeah, we should.
We should be seeing everybody getting lit.
What?
Because the new moon lit.
What's the problem? Y'all don't want the smoke?
Y'all don't want the smoke.
Y'all don't want the smoke?
How do we know it's a new moon? How do we know when the moon is new? How do we know it's a new moon? We know it's the new moon 'cause it's lit. We know it's the new moon 'cause it's lit. We know it's the new moon 'cause it's lit. We know it's the new moon. How do we know it's the new moon? How do we know when the moon is new? How do we know it's the new moon? We know it's the new moon 'cause it's lit. We know it's the new moon 'cause it's lit.
The main purpose never fell again. Do it ever so we never see that hell again. Floating, no ocean, we'll never see they sail again. Law got it so we'll never see they gel again. Different, but broke enough that you can't even pay attention. But not enough that you can't see that transition. You a guide though, listen to this God flow. Spill it till we all get the picture like a slideshow. We were all indifferent on arrival. Credit to the scriptures out the Bible. Jehovah's own, a lyrical dermatome, bloodline of Christ. I can feel it in my chromosomes, hold the throne.
Shalom family, Most High in Christ Bless. Today we had the graceful gathering tea party for our little princesses and YDOS. The girls were very, very happy to be a part of today's activity. They learned how to walk, how to speak, how to sit, how to use their table manners, how to dine, and of course, all the feminine hygiene for our teenagers. The moms are also edified on things that they can do to better their girls in terms of hygiene, ways that they can teach them as well. So it was a very successful event, and I'm very excited to hear the feedback from the girls. Shalom.
Today I learned about the event, to be polite, be kind to your elders. I learned how to sit and eat.
Big and toys.
Hey, Shalom family, Most High in Christ bless. Right now we're in downtown Seattle on the pier. We have the Young Men of Valor and the Young Daughters of Sarah out for an AV outing. What are they going to be doing? They're going to be learning how to edit. They're going to be learning how to shoot with cameras for photography. Learning how to do B-roll and A-roll. On top of that, they're going to edit their own content for, you guys know, man. We're just going to have fun. We're going to do the work of the Lord, and they're going to learn at the same time. Shalom.
Shalom. Today I'm down here and I'm learning different tips and tricks on being an AV. So far I have learned about photography and B-roll and how to do those things and what the specific details are on how to get a good photograph or video. I'm having lots of fun hanging out with my brothers.
We're learning photography, B-roll, and A-roll. I enjoy what we're being taught because I'm learning a lot of new skills that I can use to, help promote the word to the world in different ways. And yeah.
Bon Dieu béni dans Christ là. Eh, attendez non. Nous te gen yon invitation pour nous te venir faire yon représentation là pour nous te montrer peuple qui est nous yé, dans l'histoire tout bail ça yon. Et of course qu'on tout côté nous passer, gen moun k'ap kwe, gen moun ki pa kwe, gen moun ki la seulement pour yo toujours gon l'autre bagay pour yo dire. Qu'importe ça dit yo gon l'autre bagay pour yo dire. Gen yon frère qui dit comme ça, si bon Dieu tiye, bon Dieu ça va ka bon Dieu.
C'est moi-même qui celle qui bon Dieu.
Il dit c'est moi-même celle qui bon Dieu. Oui.
Pas gen l'autre bon Dieu, pas c'est moi-même.
Pas gen l'autre bon Dieu, pas c'est lui-même go ahead.
Moi ba la vie.
Lui ba la vie.
Moi prend la vie.
Lui prend la vie, so lui tiye, il ba la vie, lui non.
Jean vle.
Jean vle, lui fait ça, Jean lui vle. Nous montrons que bon Dieu fait ça vle parce que c'est bon Dieu libre. Pour prendre moi, mettre Babea, il dit qu'on ça nous ka tourner encore, il bon l'autre invitation pour nous tourner. Avec ça nous dit bataille là bon Dieu gagne bataille là encore et la continuer gagne bataille là. Shalom.
I will say you this about this border in El Paso. There's a bunch of Christianity around here. We just walked a couple of blocks and we ran into about 4 or 5 different versions of Christianity. It is chaos out here.
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
What does John 10:30 say?
Bring it up. All praise.
Bring it out.
Qué bonitos son los pies de los profetas, predicando el evangelio, nuestra salvación, predicando por la calle de pueblo en pueblo.
Right? You see that? But they call you an alien right now. If you look a certain way, if you're of a certain heritage, if you are of a certain bloodline, they call you an alien.
Capitanes y oficiales, los soldados y hermanos, hombres de mucho valor, son seguidores de Cristo, de nuestro gobernador.
But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Fulfill the prophecy by sending his son. Because they want to make Jesus look like a bipolar man. Oh, I'm going to send myself and then I'm not going to. It's retarded.
How can we be agreed if we go talk but don't walk in the pitch? Highways and byways, the doctrine we put in is it. Said you do it like this. We don't do it like that.
In the building, we got Israel United in Christ.
Say they want war. You got the keys. We on the map. The bishop got season that word. We ain't pulling it back. We ain't pulling it back.
You see the purple and gold, you already know what it is. We coming out the scriptures.
These brothers in here, the first thing we had to do was get drugs off our mind, whoremongering off our mind, stealing off our mind. We had to get these things off our mind, set our mind in order, go ahead, and reprove thy people. And then you go out and you teach your people.
Hey, all praise to the Most High. We just wrapped up a conversation that we had with some local pastors here at 90.1. Great edification came out. Lord's will, it hits the ears of the listeners, and we can bring one to repentance. All praise to the Most High. The Lord is opening doors here in Kansas City. Let the word continue. With that, we say shalom.
They're going to see order. All of us looking straight ahead, walking in the same manner. singing the same song, stepping with the same foot. That is discipline. And they say black people, we can't do this.
It look like something special going on. I like this. Look like black unity to me.
We're showing the world that this is what unity looks like. They've never seen this before.
We're trying to gather the 12 tribes of the house of Israel. As America, when our people joy, no, that's the problem God had with us in the first place. We want to take joy in any wicked thing. But God is calling us. Let's keep God's commitment and live, man.
We love this. Too black, too proud, too strong. We out here.
The love that you guys have.
Hey, we're back from the break. If you guys had time to take care of your business before we start again. Oh, let's go back to that picture again. Get some clarity on something real fast. You go back and look at it again. So this right here, this picture, a guy right here, is William II, and the top of the image is giving you a description of his wife, his son's mother. So this brother here, he married into the Stuart line. Okay, so it's describing his son's mother or his wife. So William III. So the picture right here, this knight is William II, and is describing his wife or their child, William III. So he fathered William III. Okay, so he's William II, the founder of the House of Orange, and his mother or his wife, his son's mother, was Charles I. It was the daughter of Charles I and the sister of King Charles II. And King James II and VII.
Which we see in the Paisley.
Which you see in the picture. Yeah. Go to Paisley now. Go to Paisley. If you're confused, I'll clarify for you. If you're confused. Zoom in.
Yep.
So right here, James, you see where it says Charles I appeared, 1625 to 1649. That's King Charles I. He was beheaded by Oliver Cromwell in 49. We showed you his how he's described, his brown complexion. Then they have to the left, his oldest daughter, Mary. Charles II. Move over to Charles II. Then you have James VII and II, or second and seventh. So Mary, go up to the left again. Mary married William II of Orange. That second of Orange there is that knight in that picture. And they had, go to the bottom, they had William III. And William III married Mary II.
They're cousins.
They're cousins, right. Okay, so Mary married William II of Orange. That black knight is William II of Orange, the founder of the House of Orange. Okay, and Mary, who he married, is the sister of Charles II. Okay, James VII and II. All right. So now. And I believe Charles II was put back on the throne, I think, after Cromwell. So it started showing Cromwell. They were trying to get Charles back on the throne at that time. Charles II.
The Jacobite Wars.
The Jacobite Wars, right. Which we're leading into slowly. Give me the next one, part 3, surnames, page 57 and 58. What page is this? 58?
Go back to 57. That's 57.
50. What's 57?
That's 57.
58. 58. Now want you to zoom in. Zoom in. It's the same mustache, robotic mustache, right? Go to the brother. That's a black. You see his nose and mouth? Go to the right. He got, zoom out some. He got armor on too. Mm-hmm. See his whole armor on. See his.
Another black knight.
Black knight. Black knight. Simple ass weapon. We'll zoom in here. Zoom in here, the jousting. Read that.
The jousting tournament armor of Charles V, circa 1520.
The jousting tournament. We had jousting to you ride the horse with the pole and you run. The jousting tournament armor of Charles V, circa 1520. Go ahead. Augsburg. Go ahead.
The scenes depicts Charles V as a melanated man dressed in full armor, but is described by mainstream interpreters as Samson and Goliath fighting David.
So go up to the top. This is Charles V right here. Charles V. Zoom in. That's it right there. Read that.
Historical evidence documents the original nobility of Charles as black European monarchs. Charles I, second, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. See Charles VII.
Oh, no. Go down. I'm going to spoil that. Dang. So this right here is Charles V, right? Who could he be? Let's go down. Come on. Right there, read that. That's him right there, talking to somebody right there. Go ahead. This detail.
This is the detail and scene in full of the right crupper, which attaches itself on the horse's rear to protect its body.
Go down. See Charles.
See Charles's brother, King Ferdinand II, in issue number 17.
So that's Charles V. Go up to the top. Thought I had more than that written there. Okay. Let me see. This page 58?
Yes, that was 58, sir.
Let me see 59. Go back. Go back to the next page. Zoom in. Go down.
That Charles V, that's the Holy Roman Emperor.
Charles V. Carlos Quinto. There's Carlos Quinto. No, I don't think so. Charles V. Go back. Go back. Last picture. Zoom in. It might be.
1520.
Yeah. Of Augsburg. Type in Charles V, please. Google Charles V. I doubt it, though.
I don't remember Charles V.
The mustache, looking like that. I don't think that's the same Charles V as the one you're referring to of Habsburg.
Yeah.
I think he's different. Charles V. Because he's a knight. I don't think it's the same. No, he's different. 1520, 1500 to 1558. No, it's something different. If I have a page where this guy here is the brother of the guy in the last page. That's his brother. I don't know why I can't find the page. But this Charles I here, well, this guy here, well, maybe I put the wrong page. I have William III. I got erased that. It's William II. But then it has Black Knight. I gotta fix this anyway. Hold on a second. All right. Charles I's grandsons, page 58. All right. Give me let's see. Paisley Abbey. Give me James III. Go to Paisley Abbey again. Family tree image. Paisley Abbey again. Go to James III. Right up top right there. See up top right there, the white guy. To the left, to the left. Yeah, that's good. James III, second, Margaret of Denmark. And they had James IV. All right, so give me the new and full critical biography. A new full critical biography. Yes, sir. I want page 128. That's James III. Yep, this book right here. Yep, a new critical biographical. James III. Zoom in.
1759.
Yeah, 1759. This is the same book. Go up. A new full critical. That it? History of Scotland? What does this?
Yeah, it said new and full critical.
Oh, that is it.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, damn. Go down. I didn't realize the book is that old. Zoom in. Yeah, 1759. Okay, that's the inside cover. 1759 is how old this book is. Go to page 128. Damn, it's old. Zoom in. The
Lords of the Confederacy, and show of some atonement and relenting of spirit for the many wrongs they had done His Majesty. and at length murdering him, performed his funeral
Yeah, okay.
with uncommon
His
splendor.
body was carried. We died.
His body was carried to the Abbey Church of Cumberland,
Kenneth,
and there deposited in the same vault with his queen, King James.
King James here is King James III. This is King James III. Go ahead.
Was of more than common stature, well proportioned.
He's pretty tall. Go ahead.
Well proportioned and stately in his person,
and
of a swarthy complexion.
Black complexion. This is King James III. Swarthy complexion. King James III. Swarthy complexion. Go to page 296. Maybe it's on the bottom of the page. Let me see. 296. I don't know. Go to page 312. Go to page 312. Zoom in. All right. There's something in here. There we go. The beginning. Read that.
The beginning of this year, 1664, Matthew Earl of Lennox returned to Scotland, and by the Parliament met in January this year, he was put in full possession of all his estates. I can't see titles and privileges after an exile of 22 years. In February of the next year, Henry Lord Darnley
is King James' father. Go ahead.
Followed his father into Scotland, being arrived to the age of 21 years. Lord Darnley was received by Queen Mary with particular marks of esteem and regard at the Palace of Weens, on the coast of Fife. Earl from Dystart, and from the Lord Darnley's first appearance at court, it was observed Her Majesty showed a particular affection toward him.
Yeah, she liked him when she saw him. Go ahead.
And in a little time could not conceal her passion and regard, so that a report soon prevailed. The queen would have Lord Darnley for her husband.
Because she was a queen, he was of the knights. Go ahead.
He was a young nobleman of most graceful and comely countenance, and of a most agreeable, fine person and stature, a fit companion for her royal bed. He was likewise descended of the same royal stock of the Stuarts family. And therefore her marriage with Lord Darnley, the resolved upon as a direct mean to continue the succession and royal descent of the Stuarts family, which otherwise might have failed.
Because of his background, his ancestral background, he was eligible to marry her because their families intermarried. They had family ties. Go ahead.
Queen Mary had different political reasons and motives of interest and conveniency to induce her to this match.
So his mother she had different intentions marrying Lord Darnley. Go ahead.
First, she dreaded if Darnley did marry into any of the great families of England, as he was great nephew to Henry VIII.
Right, he was great. He was the great nephew to Henry VIII because all those families intermarried. Go ahead.
By their power and influence, and he being born in England upon the death of Queen Elizabeth and default of her male issue, he might lay claim to the crown of England and so cut off Mary's right of succession to the crown.
So she found him she seen him as a threat to the throne because he's entitled to the throne too. Go ahead.
Next, she hoped by marrying Lord Darnley not to give such offense to the French court. And thirdly, she by this match continued the royal line in the same name and family, if she happened to have male issue. Lastly, she by this got clear of Elizabeth's importunity concerning her marrying Dudley.
Yeah.
Queen Elizabeth this year, after visiting the University of Cambridge and receiving the compliments of all the colleges with the greatest magnificence.
Go down. Oh, yeah, you see? Go down. See? Read upon this account.
Upon this account, Elizabeth ordered Randolph, her ambassador to Queen Mary, to signify her great aversion at the thoughts of her being married to Lord Darnley. And as such was the discontent of the Parliament of England at the first hints and notice of such an alliance, that she, as Queen of England, was under necessity to dissolve the possessions of Parliament in order to prevent both houses from coming to some very strong and vigorous resolutions against Queen Mary's right to the succession. And therefore Elizabeth insisted for a declaration on this head from Queen Mary. This was conducting matters towards a queen in too absolute a dictatorial matter, and lording it over a sovereign and her kingdom. Queen Elizabeth carried this matter too high, but it was owing to the restless and ambitious spirit of the Earl of Murray, who wanted to have the sole direction of Queen Mary and of Scots affairs. Finding her disposed to marry in the Lennox family, he knew the immediate consequence would be the decline of his power and influence. Queen Mary was so condescending and prudent, though her affection was fixed on the Lord Darnley, and that she was determined to have him for her husband, yet from the importunity of Randolph's solicitations and from the natural earnest and compliance. What does that say? And compliance. All right. And compliance of her spirit. She very politely appears disengaged and apparently falls in with the Elizabeth and her ministry's propositions to nominate commissioners to meet at Berwick and to treat concerning her marriage with the Earl of Leicester, to give the greater force to her applications and designs. Elizabeth sent at this time Nicholas Throgmorton as ambassador extraordinary.
That's all I wanted. There was some issues going on with Mary. She didn't want to be married to Darnley, and he ended up dying. Darnley got killed. They're killing Darnley. They say she was behind it. So Elizabeth eventually had her killed. Elizabeth had Mary killed eventually. And they believe that Mary was behind. It's believed or alleged that Mary was behind Lord Darnley's assassination. I think the council blew up, I think, and they found his body in a pool, I think, strangled to death. Something like that, something crazy. But it was this is revolving around that whole scandal. All right. Give me what I want. Foundational black surnames again. Part 1, page 100. Part 1, page 100. Zoom in.
We got a better image.
Yeah, we got better. Yeah. Put that one up too. So zoom in to this picture here. This picture here. Zoom into this picture right here. Zoom in more. Now you see his mouth. Okay, that mouth is in the mustache. Wide. Okay, but his mouth is very wide. It's huge, protruding lips. Right. This is a depiction of someone. Now zoom out. That's his arm. Go down. They got Psalms 1 something. I forgot what that is. It's a depiction of somebody. Go up. Zoom in. Who's that in the left? Read that.
King James the fourth.
And
first. The father of King Charles the First.
That's King James. That's King James. King James. We'll get you a better image. We have a better image than this.
Yeah, at the bottom of that was Psalms 105. D.
Yeah, Psalm 105, right. Yeah, Psalm 105. It's a depiction of King James.
I got it.
You put the better image up.
Yeah, it's in the group. Just go to files. It's not far down. It's like seventh one down or sixth.
This is a depiction of King James.
You see it? All right,
let's get that. Let's get a clearer image of it. Yep. Zoom in. Zoom in. Just to him. Zoom in. Now the nose. See high cheekbones in that mouth. Zoom in.
Big old lips.
Big lips there.
You can see the outline of the nose.
Yeah, you see the outline of the nose, how wide it was. Mm-hmm. That's him there. That's a black man. That's a black man. So cheekbones and that lip and that mouth alone is a problem. Okay, this is a picture. This is the depiction of King James. Okay. This is him right there. Go back to the book now. It's a more clear. Go zoom out. I'm sorry. Zoom out again. Yeah. Go. Yeah, that's good. Yep. Go down. Yeah, that's him right there. Yep. Psalms 105 in the bottom. I'll go to the book again. Yes, sisters, read that.
Arlington House has a very interesting history. The present palace occupies the site of what, in the reigns of Charles I and Charles II, was known as the Mulberry Garden, then a place of fashionable resort. It was so called from the fact that the ground had been planted with mulberry trees by order of James I, one of whose whims was the growth of silk in England as a source of revenue. The speculation entered into by King James proved a failure, and the Mulberry Garden was afterwards devoted to a public recreation ground.
Mm-hmm. Go down to the bottom. Read that.
James I's lineage is from the House of Stuart. See Schwartz, Variations on page 109 to 112 in issue number 16. Note how his melanated features have been rubbed away in an attempt to conceal his phenotype.
Yeah, his nose, his lips, his mouth is so big they couldn't do that. They didn't destroy that one. His mouth, his lips are very big. Go ahead.
See his progeny in issues number 11 and 12. The Stuarts descended from the Seneschals of Dole in Brittany,
right,
France.
That's the Bretons, the Stuart family, the Fitz-Allens. Go ahead.
They came with William the Conqueror.
We went over this before. They came with these are the knights that came with him. All right. So that's the picture of King James with the big. Go back to his face again. With the big lips and the nose all knocked off. You see his cheekbones is high as hell, way up here. Look like Uncle Ben. Yeah. You got the damn big cheekbones up here, the big lips. That's King James depicted there. The Bible. Now, go to Britannica again. James the First and go back to it again. I don't know why I have that, but I'm gonna go through it anyway. Oh, okay. That's not an N. That's a V. Yeah, go Britannica. That's James First and Fourth. That's what I have. First and Fourth. The way I wrote it was confusing.
Knee.
I wrote knee. What the hell is knee? It's a V. All right, let's read that. James here. King James, the First and Fourth. Yeah, read that. Zoom into that. Is that all there is to read? Okay, go ahead.
James I, born June 19, 1566, Edinburgh Castle, Edinburgh, Scotland, died March 27, 1625. Theobald, Hertfordshire, England, was the King of Scotland as James VI from 1567 to...
Oftentimes they confuse the two. Sometimes they'll say fifth, they'll say fourth and sixth. It's the same. Well, it's not the same, but it's oftentimes error. But it's just James. He's James the First and Sixth. James the First and Sixth. Go ahead.
From 1567 to 1625. And first Stuart, King of England, from 1603 to 1625, who styled himself King of Great Britain. James was a strong advocate of royal absolutism, and his conflicts with an increasingly self-assertive parliament set the stage for the rebellion against his successor, Charles I.
So King James here, him fighting against the parliament is what caused the issue where his son got beheaded later on, 49, by Cromwell. Go ahead.
Early life and regency. James was the only son of Mary, Queen of Scots, and her second husband, Henry Stuart, Lord Darnley. 8 months after James's birth, his father died when his house was destroyed by an explosion.
That's why I want to read this. It explains what happened. The house was destroyed by an explosion. Some Game of Thrones stuff.
Yeah.
Destroyed by an explosion. Go ahead.
After her third marriage to James Hepburn, 4th Earl of Bothwell, Mary was defeated by rebel Scottish lords and abdicated the throne.
Go ahead.
James, 1-year-old, became King of Scotland on July 24, 1567. Mary left the kingdom on May 16, 1568.
A year later.
And never saw her son again. During his minority, James was surrounded by a small band of the great Scottish lords, from whom emerged the 4 successive regents, the Earls of Moray, Lennox, Mar, and Morton. There did not exist in Scotland
all these words here. Moray is black. Moray, Mar, Morton. It's all black. Go ahead.
There did not exist in Scotland the great gulf between rulers and rule that separated the Tudors and their subjects in England. For 9 generations, the Stuarts had in fact been merely the ruling family among many equals. And James, all his life, retained a feeling for those of the great Scottish lords who gained his confidence. The young king was kept fairly isolated, but was given a good education until the age of 14. He studied Greek, French, and Latin, and made good use of a library of classical and religious writings that his tutors, George Buchanan and Peter Young, assembled for him. James's education aroused him in literary ambitions rarely found in princes, but which also tended to make him a pedant.
Yo, Deke, so wait a minute. She blew you said allegedly she
It's
blew the house
alleged that
up.
she was behind the explosion. She felt him being her husband. She liked him, but he was a threat because remember the throne.
The line.
She inherited the throne
Yeah.
as a queen.
Right.
He was a descendant of knights, Lord Darnley, but he was a relative, and that remember their families intermarried. So
Right.
they're
So
cousins. So she felt he threatened because he can take over the throne. He's a male. A male should be in the throne, not a woman.
Right.
So because of that, she said, "This thing I gotta go." That's what they say. It's alleged, but the Queen Elizabeth had her killed because she was on some plot and stuff. So I think it may have been true.
Right. Okay.
But
She just seemed to get move on right away and got a third in the third marriage.
So he was the second husband.
Right.
She married before him. But
Okay.
the only child she had by Darnley was James. So we don't really know. Well, go ahead.
Dang.
Reign of James VI of Scotland. Before James was 12, he had taken the government nominally into his own hands when the Earl of Morton was driven from the regency in 1578. For several years more, however, James remained the puppet of contending intriguers and faction leaders. After falling under the influence of the Duke of Lennox, a Roman Catholic who schemed to win back Scotland for the imprisoned Queen Mary, James was kidnapped by William Ruthven, first Earl of Gowrie.
He had a real turbulent life. His mom got locked up. He got kidnapped. Go ahead.
In 1582 and was forced to denounce Lennox. The following year, James escaped from his Protestant captors and began to pursue his own policies as king. His chief purposes were to escape from the subservience of Scottish factions and to establish his claim to succeed the childless Elizabeth I upon the throne of England. Realizing that more was to be gained by cultivating Elizabeth's goodwill than by allying himself with her enemies, James, in 1585-86, concluded an alliance with England. Thenceforward, in his own unsteady fashion, he remained true to this policy, and even Elizabeth's execution of his mother in 1587 drew from him only formal protest.
See? So she had a killed. Go ahead.
In 1589, James was married to Anne, the daughter of Frederick II of Denmark, who in 1594 gave birth to their first son, Prince Henry. James' rule of Scotland was basically successful. He was able to play off Protestant and Roman Catholic factions of Scottish nobles against each other, and through a group of commissioners known as the Octavians, 1596-97, he was able to rule Scotland almost as absolutely as Elizabeth I ruled England. The king was a convinced Presbyterian, but in 1584 he secured a series of acts that made him the head of the Presbyterian Church in Scotland, with the power to appoint the church's bishops.
Here we go.
James as King of Great Britain, and the Gunpowder Plot.
The Gunpowder Plot. Go ahead.
When James at length succeeded to the English throne on the death of Elizabeth I, March 24th, 1603, he was already, as he told the English Parliament, an old and experienced king, and one with a clearly defined theory of royal government. Unfortunately, neither his experience nor his theory equipped him to solve the new problems facing him, and he lacked the qualities of mind and character to supply the deficiency. James hardly understood the rights or the temper of the English Parliament, and he thus came into conflict with it. He had little contact with the English middle classes, and he suffered from the narrowness of his horizons. His 22-year-long reign over England was to prove almost as unfortunate for the Stuart dynasty as his years before 1603 had been fortunate.
See that picture to the right of this? Who's that supposed to be? That's the same picture we saw earlier with the mustache and the big lips.
Yep. No big lips, no high cheekbones.
Big difference. Now, more than likely, well, let's go down. We don't. Go ahead.
There was admittedly much that was sensible in his policies, and the opening years of his reign as King of Great Britain were a time of material prosperity.
You know that. So the gunpowder plot, we're going to go into that eventually. The gunpowder plot. Unfortunately, I left my documentation home. I want to go into with y'all regarding the translators, because that all ties in together. The gunpowder plot. So go back to King James again. Go back to him again. His image again. Go back to King James again. Yes, sir. One more time. We're going to end it on that, because I left my stuff home anyway. Matter of fact, type in gunpowder plot. We can read that before we end it. Yeah, man, good, but type it in first, and then go back to King James depiction again. So now I can finally see. Yep, I'll go back to King James now. Zoom into that, yeah, man. Zoom into that. Look at that. It's a huge difference from what we saw earlier, that white dude. Zoom into his face again.
Completely different.
Zoom into his face. Look at that. Look at the nose.
Yeah, look at that big wide nose, the high cheekbone.
You can see the nostril. You can see the damn nostril. Yeah. The nose, the lips, and the high cheekbones there, the forehead. That's a black man. That is a black king. That's a depiction of King James.
Right, without a doubt.
Without a doubt, that is a black depiction. That is a depiction of a black man. Okay? So it's been a long time. I wanted to see it. Well, there you go. It's a picture from right here.
It's a carving.
A stone carving of King James, right? Depicted, and they knocked off the damn nose and eyes.
4 feet. It says in about 4 feet square and 6 inches thick.
It's tall too.
Yeah, it's big. It's not no small little carving.
Yeah.
It's a statue. It's an image, like we read in the scriptures.
Yep. It's an image. Yep. It's a statue or an image or teraphim image, right?
Yep.
All right, of King James. That's King James there. So I've been showing y'all for the last few weeks his father's line, the Fitzflad, the Fitzallen, all of them black with big noses and lips. King Henry's, there's the first, second, third. I didn't show you all of that stuff so far. Y'all haven't seen all of that. Gunpowder now. Gunpowder plot. Read that.
It's not giving the whole thing.
That's fine. Read what you can.
Gunpowder plot, the conspiracy of English Roman Catholics to blow up Parliament and King James I, his queen, and his eldest son on November 5th, 1605.
That was the premise of the gunpowder plot. They have fireworks every year, I believe, celebrating what should have been the success of this explosion here. The gunpowder plot was to blow up King James and Parliament and the Catholics at this time. Go ahead.
The leader of the plot, Robert.
The conspiracy. This is a conspiracy of Roman Catholics to blow up King James, right? Because he was a Protestant. Go ahead.
The leader of the plot, Robert Catesby, together with his four co-conspirators.
Go ahead.
Thomas Winter, Thomas Percy, John Wright.
And the most famous one?
Guy Fawkes.
Guy Fawkes. There's a movie called V for Vendetta, and it's based upon Guy Fawkes. Go ahead.
Were zealous Roman Catholics angered by James's refusal to grant more religious toleration to Catholics. They apparently hoped that the confusion that would follow the murder of the king,
do more? Damn.
Yo, try the link I just put in the group. Yes, sir. See if that works.
Yes, sir.
There we go. All right. Oh, we at?
They apparently hoped that the confusion that would follow the murder of the king, his ministers, and the members of parliament would provide an opportunity for the English Catholics to take over the country.
Because it was a Protestant kingdom, right?
Assembling the conspirators, Catesby had conceived of the plot as early as May 1603, when he told Percy, in reply to the latter's declaration of his intention to kill the king, that he was thinking of a most sure way. Subsequently, on or about November the 1st, 1603, Catesby sent a message to his cousin Robert Winter at Huntington, near Worcester, to come to London, but Winter refused. On the arrival of a second urgent summons shortly afterwards, he obeyed, and at a house in Lambeth, probably on January 1604, he and John Wright were initiated by Catesby into the plot to blow up the Parliament.
Go down. Go up to the top. I'm sorry. Winter having secured nothing. The bottom statement. The bottom
Winter,
statement.
having secured nothing but vain promises from the constable, returned to England about the end of April, bringing with him Folks, a man devoted to the Roman Catholic cause and recommended for undertaking perilous adventures.
So he was the danger seeker, this guy. Guy Folks. Go down. Let me see. Read that. Yeah, read that.
Subsequently, Catesby, Winter, and Folks, along with Percy, who joined the conspiracy in May, met in a house behind St. Clement's Church. There they swore an oath of secrecy together, heard mass, and took communion in an adjoining apartment from a priest stated by Folks to have been Father John Gerard. Gerard. Later, several other persons were included in the plot, including Winter's brother Thomas, John Grant, Ambrose Rookwood, Robert Keyes, Sir Everard Digby, Catesby's cousin Francis Tresham, and Catesby's servant Thomas Bates. The Jesuits, Oswald Tessamon, also known by the alias Father Greenway, and Father Henry Garnet were also cognizant of the plot.
They knew about it. Go ahead.
On May 24th, 1604, a house was hired in Percy's name adjoining the House of Lords. From the cellar of this house, the conspirators proposed to work a mine. They began digging on December 11th, 1604, and by about March had gotten halfway through the wall. They then discovered that a vault immediately under the House of Lords was available. This was at once hired by Percy, and 36 barrels of gunpowder.
36 barrels of gunpowder. Damn, it's a lot of gunpowder. Go ahead.
Some sources say fewer, amounting to about 1.5 tons. Some 1,400 kilograms were brought in and concealed under coal and firewood.
That's 3,000 pounds of gunpowder.
The preparations being completed in May 1605, the conspirators separated. Folks was dispatched to Flanders, where he imparted the plot to Hugh Owen, a Welsh Roman Catholic expatriate whose intrigues in England dated to at least the Rodolphi plot against Elizabeth I in 1571. Sir Edmund Bayham was sent on a mission to Rome to be on hand when the news of the plot's success came so that he could win over the Pope to the cause of the conspirators.
Right. Go ahead.
Gunpowder, treason, and plot. A great hunting match was organized in Warwickshire by Digby, to which large numbers of the Roman Catholic gentry were invited. They were to join the plot after the successful accomplishment of the explosion of November the 5th, 1605, the day fixed for the opening of Parliament. Immediately after the explosion, the plotters were to take possession of the Princess Elizabeth, while Percy was to seize the infant Prince Charles and bring him on horseback to their meeting place. Folks was to take ship immediately for Flanders, spread the news on the continent, and collect supporters. The conspirators imagined that a terrorized and helpless government would readily agree to all their demands. Wow. Until this point, the secret had been well kept, and the preparations have been completed with extraordinary success and without a single significant drawback. A very serious difficulty now confronted the conspirators as the time for action arrived, and the feelings of ordinary humanity shrunk from the destruction of so many persons guiltless of any offense. In addition, among the peers to be assassinated were many Roman Catholics and some lords closely connected in kinship or friendship with the plotters themselves.
Everyone's thinking about like, yo, we're going to kill our people doing this. Go ahead.
Catesby, however, firmly rejected all appeals to allow warning to be given to certain individuals. Lord Monteagle, a brother-in-law of Tresham, had ties to some of the other conspirators and had engaged in previous Roman Catholic plots against the government. He had, however, given his support to the new king. On October 26, he received an anonymous letter delivered by an unknown messenger which read, "My lord, out of the love..."
It's basically warning him of what was going to happen.
Yeah,
that letter.
Yeah, pretty much. On
November 4th, the king, having been shown the letter, ordered Thomas Howard, 1st Earl of Suffolk, in his capacity as Lord Chamberlain, to examine the buildings.
So they rat each other out. They felt too guilty. So this is not good. We're gonna lose loved ones. We're gonna harm our friends. We're gonna kill Catholics. And we're gonna kill fellow Catholics in the midst of this plot. This is stupid. Go ahead.
He was accompanied by Monteagle. When they arrived at the cellar, the door was opened by folks. Seeing the enormous piles of firewood, Suffolk asked the name of their owner, to which folks replied that they belonged to Percy. His name immediately aroused suspicion, and it was ordered that a further search should be made by Thomas Knevet, a Westminster magistrate. Knevet, accompanied by his men on the night of November 4th through 5th, discovered the gunpowder and arrested folks on the threshold. Folks, under torture, revealed the names of his confederates and the extent of their participation in the plot on November 9th.
So folks ratted them out. They're getting tortured. Go ahead.
Upon the arrest of folks, the other conspirators, except Tresham, fled in parties by different ways, rejoining each other in Warwickshire, as had been agreed if the plot had been successful. Catesby informed his friends in Warwickshire, who had been awaiting the outcome of the plot, of its failure. He assured Digby, however, that both James and Salisbury were dead. Catesby pushed on the same day with his companions in the direction of Wales, where it was hoped that they would be joined by bands of insurgents. Catesby's party arrived in Huntington at 2 p.m. on November 6th. The following morning, the band, numbering about 36 persons, confessed and heard mass, and then rode away to Holbeck House in Staffordshire, arriving at about 10 p.m. on November 7th. En route, they had broken into Lord Windsor's house at Hewell Grange and taken all the arms and munitions they found there. Their case was now desperate. None had joined them. Not one came to take our part, said Digby, though we had expected so many.
It backfired. No one got to join them. Go ahead.
They were being followed by the sheriff and all the forces of the county, and their options had all but vanished. One by one, their followers fled from the house in which the last scene was to be played out. An explosion of some of their remaining gunpowder on the morning of November 8th struck terror into the hearts of the remaining conspirators as a judgment from heaven, undermining their assurance of their innocence and the justness of their cause. The greatness of their crime now struck home. At about 11 a.m., the sheriff and his men came up and immediately began firing into the house. Catesby, Percy, and Wright were killed. Winter and Rokewood were wounded and taken prisoner with the men who had remained with them. In all, 8 of the conspirators, including the 2 Winters, Digby, Folks, Rokewood, Keyes, and Bates, were executed, while Tresham died in the Tower of London. Of the priests involved, Garnet was tried and executed, while Greenway and Garrett escaped to the continent. Aftermath and cultural legacy. Catesby and his fellow plotters had risked and lost all in an attempt to improve the lot of Roman Catholics in England, but their crime irretrievably injured the cause for which they felt such devotion. Laws against Roman Catholics were immediately increased in severity, and the gradual advance toward religious toleration was put back for centuries. The plot bitterly intensified Protestant suspicions of Catholics and led to the rigorous enforcement of the recusancy law, which fined those who refused to attend Anglican
recusancy law.
Recusancy law. Thank you. Which fined those who refused to attend Anglican services.
You said recusancy?
Recusancy is the word.
In January 1606, Parliament established November 5th as a day of public thanksgiving. The day, known as Guy Fawkes Day, is still celebrated with bonfires, fireworks, and the carrying of guys through the streets. I think that's supposed to say guns, right?
Yeah, probably guns, maybe. I don't know.
Well, guys, that's what for guy folks?
Yeah, guys. It's guys for guy folks. So that's the point. So I read all of that to show what? That this gunpowder plot was, they were going to blow up the building where the Bible was being translated in. They were going to blow it up. And the Bible was being translated or revised pretty much. The King James Version, authorized version, they were going to blow up that building. That's what they were going to do. And it was unsuccessful, but they still celebrated these men anyway with the fireworks. That's why I read all of this. So that's going to take us into the history of the translators themselves. I'm going to go into that Lord's Law next week. The translators themselves and their credentials and how wise these men were, and how the Lord used them to put together one of the best revised or translated Bibles in the history of Bibles.
That's right.
All right? Like by far, pretty much, all right? And all the other revised satanic 1970s versions that you Christians love so much, you guys used. The remodel of this one, the remodeling and revision of this one.
Right.
All right? So hope you guys enjoyed the show. We're going to entitle this class The Henrys, the King Henrys and the James. And the James is the King Henrys and the Jameses is I guess James.
James is
and the Henrys and the James. You call it that. The Henrys and the James. All right. King James. Yeah, the Henrys and the James. The black Henrys and the James and the King and the black James. Yeah, the black Henrys and James. All right. So there you go. All praises.
All praises.
Yes, sir. There we have it, man. Some fire history coming from the people. History. We're going to close out. Don't forget to continue to support on YouTube, IUIC Philadelphia, IUIC Philadelphia in the classroom. Donate to OHH on PayPal at IUIC Philadelphia, IsraelUnite.org. Donate to the Booster Club on PayPal, IUIC fundraising at IsraelUnite.org. Last but not least, subscribe to the IUIC TV to get exclusive content from the leadership of IUIC.
Remember, it's IUIC.fundraising at IsraelUnite.org.
Right.
Forget the dot.
Okay, missing persons. We have Ronald Barron. Ronald was last seen on March 5th, 2026. No clothing description given. All right. Bring that up. It's too far.
Zoom in.
All right. Age 66, African American. On what? 68?
Yeah.
68. I'm sorry. 68. Race African American. Hair color unknown. As you can see, it's probably because he has a bandana on. But eye color is brown. 5'8", 180 pounds. All right. Make sure you contact the nearest authority if you do see this brother. We are in search for all our lost ones. All right. Land Fund, IUIC Nationhood at IsraelUnite.org. In the notes section, put land. We're in need to continue on this major project. All right. We're seeking your assistance to enhance our national broadcast. Kindly spare a minute to provide feedback about answering 5 brief questions. That's the QR code there. Scan it. Thank you for your time. Got www.israelunite.org.
Yes, please use the QR code. They did horribly in the beginning. Please. We need help. Please, Israel.
Yes,
help
sir.
us.
Yes,
blame
sir.
Manny.
Yes, blame Manny. Operation Blame Manny.
Operation Blame Manny.
Yes.
By the way, that's a new word for black.
Oh, man.
All right, y'all. That's the end of the show. Deke, any last words?
Yes. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. I'm very tired. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. On Lord's Will, we got more for y'all. So this lesson will be entitled again, the Black King Henrys and the King James. All right, we touched on that. We touched on the King Henrys. We touched on the King James, the third. We got way more. We got so much more. So hope you guys enjoyed the show. Hope you guys enjoyed the imagery we showed as well. All right, irrefutable, undeniable evidence of these black rulers and kings and royalty. So those are we got more for next week. Shalom, Most High, Christ bless.
Hey, and thank the sisters for the breakfast also.
Oh, yeah, thank the breakfast team as well. All praise to the Most High. Yes, thank the breakfast team. What's the guy? The breakfast team. Been a while. So give a shout out to them. Shout out to the breakfast team as well.
Well deserved, man.
Yes, well deserved. IT, man. Y'all.
We ain't forget y'all, sisters.
Yeah. Sisters, all praises. Yes. All right. So shalom, Most High, Christ bless.